Coming up, we'll have the first track from our album of the week from Lizzo. And Dan Smith from Bastille will be on Tracks of My Years. This is Radio 2 on the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 11 o'clock. This is Nikki Cardwell. Crowds are gathering in London's Trafalgar Square to celebrate England's Euro 2022 victory. An average of 13.5 million people watched the Lionesses beat Germany, and the end of the match was the most watched 5 minutes of television this year. Gary Lineker says the FA must capitalise on this moment.
It's fantastic for the game here. The popularity will increase. More young girls will be playing at school. We need to make sure that they can let them play. There's a lot of schools still in the country that young girls are not encouraged to play. That needs to change. And this particular performance will, I think, make a massive difference on that front. The more people that, whether it's women or men, that are playing the game, and the bigger the popularity, the better it is for the sport.
A man's appeared before magistrates in Lincoln charged with the murder of 9-year-old Lilia Valutita in Boston last Thursday. Davidas Scabus has been remanded in custody. The Conservative leadership contender Rishi Sunak has defended his pledge to cut income tax, saying it was entirely consistent with his campaign so far. The former Chancellor says he'll cut the basic rate to 16% by the end of the next Parliament if he becomes Prime Minister. Supporters of his opponent Liz Truss have accused the former Chancellor of performing a U-turn. Randap Sopal is a portfolio manager at M&G Investments.
It depends on where the economy is 7 years from now, and that's a pretty long guess to make on where it will be. He's clearly falling behind Liz Truss, who's already brandished her tax-cutting credentials, so he has to do something to make up that shortfall. So he's gone for the base rate of income tax, which will affect pretty much every taxpayer in the UK.
The Court of Appeal is considering an urgent request from the United Nations to delay the withdrawal of a 12-year-old boy's life support. Doctors are preparing to end Archie Battersby's treatment at 2 o'clock following a Supreme Court ruling last week. A UN committee wants time to hear an appeal from his mother. A ship carrying grain has left Ukraine for the first time since a deal was agreed with Russia to alleviate the global food crisis. Supplies have been limited since Moscow's invasion started in February. And researchers have begun a project to discover the origins of the stars that we see in the night sky. They're using a new instrument which has been installed on the William Herschel telescope high on a mountaintop on La Palma in the Canary Islands. Professor Gavin Dalton from Oxford University has spent more than a decade developing the instrument. He says he's beyond excited that it's ready to go.
We'll learn about this really detailed structure. We'll learn about how the stars are moving around, and we'll learn about the evolutionary history so we can trace the galaxies that have been absorbed as the Milky Way has been built up over cosmic time. Each absorption triggers an event of star formation. Those stars then disperse, they move around the galaxy, and you track it back and reconstruct the entire assembly history of the Milky Way.
BBC News, it's 3 minutes past 11.
Gary Davis. Listen live on the BBC Sounds app.